Hi guys, Nadia from 800 Tech. We just concluded another phase in our webinar series, 5 Steps to Become Globally Competitive, the training phase. It was indeed an exciting conversation between myself and Charlene Pedro, an esteemed HR specialist for over 25 years. In that discussion, Charlene and I were able to touch on 4 key points when it comes to training in organizations. The first impactful point was doing a needs assessment, where Charlene astutely explained to us it's not just about checkboxes, but really coming in and doing a needs assessment based on the organization, the department, and then finally the individual themselves, to really have a true appreciation as to what is necessary and needed within the space that you're coming in to do the training. The next key element is the social contract. And that social contract is really a construct of what do you intend to do? What is your delivery to this organization? What are your objectives? At the end of this training exercise, what do I expect my learners to gain in terms of knowledge? What do I expect my learners to be able to do in their environment? And these objectives must also be measurable. We must be able to assess, have they genuinely learned from the experience? So we must have objectives laid out. We must ensure these objectives are measurable. And then we must evaluate. Now, as you remember, yesterday Charlene explained that evaluations, there is the big evaluation that comes at the very end of the training program, where you are evaluating to ensure that the learners have gained the knowledge that, based on your social contract, you've agreed to disseminate to them. But also there is something called an assessment that takes place during the course of the program. And the reason you're doing this, it's really in most instances a small test of sorts to confirm that the information that you're conveying, what the learners are claiming that they do understand and know, in truth and in fact has resonated with them. And then we also touched on the different types of training that organizations get involved with. And these types of training can be determined based on the organization structure, determined also based on the organization size, and also determined based on the culture of the organization. There is the one-on-one training. There is the train-the-trainer component, where we train one person within the department and then they now are responsible for developing their own training program of sorts. Because what we recognized in our conversation yesterday is that when you are learning the information and then being able to disseminate the information requires 2 different perspectives. And when you are able to do both, that really puts you in a good position of truly understanding the material. And then of course there's the OJT, where while you're on the job carrying out the activities, you're actually learning as you go. And then finally there's the group training, which we're quite familiar with, where everyone piles into a room, and well, in this instance a virtual room now because of COVID, and then we can always do breakout sessions, and we do that kind of group training where we ensure, as Charlene had indicated to us yesterday, that no matter what type of training we use, that we really make the training as engaging as possible. And engaging meaning that we try to touch on all the sensories when we're interacting with our learners, what they listen to. So our voice must be energized. It must be a voice that they're willing to listen to and learn from it. You can't sound unenthused by what you're teaching or what you're sharing. You must also try and make it very interactive. Okay, let them touch the keyboard, let them hold on to an object, let them make something, so that you keep them interactive as much as possible. You should also try and get them to speak. If it is, well, in this instance now, it may be text typing through the comments box, or they may turn on their mic, but try as much as you can to keep it as interactive, because the more interaction you have, the more engagement that you have, the more confident you can be that that information that you're sharing is really being assimilated. So we really want to thank Charlene for sharing those key components with us when it comes to training. And I know she has a lot more information in her arsenal of training tools. I just want to remind everyone, however, that next week we are not, it's our final webinar session is going to be on benchmarking, but it's going to be on Wednesday on the 21st at 2 p.m. Now we're moving it a day up because we are participating in Carrie Cham's expo. And this expo is called Bridging the Digital Divide, and you would see it being advertised in all of our platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook. And this expo is being held on July the 22nd to the 23rd. So please sign up, participate, come visit our booth, our virtual booth that is, and learn as much as you can about all of our amazing service offerings and how we can enhance and help your organization become digitally ready and globally competitive. So thanks so much, guys. Thank you, Charlene, once again for all of those amazing nuggets about training. And we will see you next week, Wednesday, 21st at 2 p.m. 5 steps to become globally competitive, the benchmarking phase. Thanks, guys.